Well, good morning, everybody. This is RevUP and Awaken, another episode of Expanding Your Consciousness. At our core, we are all energetic beings who come to Earth to fulfill a mission, whether we are aware of it or not. We are multi-dimensional beings, unhampered with the restrictive parameters that as physical beings we seem to be tethered to. We've learned over centuries to shut off that inner awareness of who we really are and the importance of our reason for being. What if we were all more than what we've been told? What if we are all aspects of other beings from various dimensional levels of reality who have come here for the mere challenge of it all and to work toward a new paradigm? Well, Sarah Rebecca Vine is known as the Healer of Healers and has run a free Earth Angel group since 2008 to help Earth Angels and light workers know that they are not alone. Sarah is also an expert in clearing conscious and unconscious beliefs, past life and inherited fears, blocks, traumas, attachments, vows, and contracts. As an empowerment coach and spiritual teacher, Sarah is also founder of the Soul Circle Sacred Space, which is now the new incarnation of what once was the Earth Angel Sanctuary. For contacting Sarah, you may do so at sarah@earthangelsanctuary.com or in spiritcoaching.co.uk, and we will give that out again towards the end of the show. So Sarah, welcome to the show.
Hi Miriam, thank you for having me.
So
Lovely
glad
to
so nice to have you here again because it's been such a long time, such a long time. And, especially because of the time difference, it's nice to be able to connect with people from other countries. It really makes you feel the connection that we really have, not only in a physical, but that there's a spiritual collective as well.
Absolutely, yes.
You know?
It's fantastic to speak with people on the other side of the world and all different time zones.
Yeah. It's
technology.
Yes, I think that's the great thing about technology, that it has helped people to connect, whereas they most likely would never have met unless they happen to meet on a trip over there, but that's about it. We tend to see ourselves by how we live our lives, and it's beyond our understanding that any of us could hold such incredibly sacred roles as many of us do, especially as an Earth Angel. Some of our viewers may not know you, so I wanted to give them a chance to get a clearer sense of who you are and what perhaps were the defining moments in your life that steered you here to the work you currently do. I mean, were there, for instance, any special moments as a child that would have given you clues as to what you would be doing now?
Yeah, I mean, one of the clearest memories that I've had was when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I remember being in my bed at night, looking at my hands, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm back. I'm back in a body. And it was like that sudden awakening. And obviously you're very excited. So I got out of bed and I opened the kitchen. Mum's there like, what are you doing out of bed? I said, Mum, I'm back. I'm alive. She's like, well, of course you're alive. I said, no, you don't understand. I'm back. I'm alive. And she's like, of course you're alive. Now go back to sleep. So I sort of shut that down myself. So I've always known I was different. I always felt, why am I here? What is the reason for being here on this planet? I was always asking questions as a child. I was always told I was too sensitive. I always felt different. I didn't fit in. And like, what is the meaning of life? Who am I? Highly sensitive as growing up. And then there was a book that I come across many years ago, and it was Realms of Earth Angels. And I read it and I was like, I'm all of those things. And literally just put it to the side. And then years later, when I come across, I always knew I wasn't doing any of the jobs I was doing. I come across this life coaching weekend. I went off, but this is it. I always know I'm here to help people. So I signed up to the life coaching. It was the top one I could do. So I was doing all these different advanced diplomas and NLP, and then different clients that I would attract. They were all different, men and women, different ages. But they'd always say, I've always felt different. I've always felt there's something wrong with me. I've always been highly sensitive. I've always had this strong sense of purpose, but I don't know what it is. And I'm like, this is all sounding so familiar. So I got out my book, and it's all the traits of an Earth Angel. So that became my mission then, to help wake people up. I created a free report back in 2008 to share what was in the books, the basics of learning about being an Earth Angel and the different realms, which I then updated in 2014. I'd done a realm reader course specifically just to update this free report to help people understand themselves better. So I also set up the Earth Angel group that is on Facebook, and it's got 18,000 members in there now, and it has created so many wonderful friendships and support for people all over the world. And like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. And I think, Earth Angels is a sort of an umbrella term for all light workers, and we have so many on this planet. I think anyone watching your show are going to be a light worker, an Earth Angel. They're going to resonate with different things, and not everyone resonates with the angel term, but it's really an umbrella for all light workers, because many of us are here for a reason right now. We are going through this great awakening. There's a lot going on the planet this year. I mean, 2020 has been a year that like never before, and it's such a positive thing, even though there's so much going on around that people can lose hope or go into fear. But on a spiritual level, on a big picture level, that is why we are here as light workers, as Earth Angels, to help this change that's happening on our beautiful planet. So I've always known, I didn't quite know how it was going to happen, this ascension process, this awakening, but ever since a little girl, knowing that was different, I've always wanted to help people. And the path has led us to this point now, where I feel like we have so many light workers that recognize themselves, know themselves, have done the work, even if they're still waking up now, to be here at this point right now on the planet.
Yes, yes. And there's so many people coming out, especially during this time frame with the virus and everything going on. So many light workers who are doing so much work online to try to help people navigate it.
Really, I'm getting goosebumps as you say this. It has really, one of the key characteristics of Earth Angels, I mean, is strong sense of purpose, but you may not know what that is. And that has really brought it out in a lot of people, especially the people that want to get the truth out there. It can be a hard pill to swallow, some of the things. And I must admit, I like to look into things as well. But it is that this awakening process that we have going on the planet. It's so important that things do come to light, and people are finding their voices. They're going out and helping other people, or protesting, or standing up for what they believe in. It's giving people something to fight for, a purpose. This is why I'm here. There's also a lot of the spiritual community that have gone to ground a little bit. I have myself initially, is to come in and do the inner work, what comes up with us as we uncover things, because what goes on out here is also a reflection of what's going on within us as well, on a spiritual level, to do that work on that level as well. So but it certainly helps so many people find their voice, find a purpose, find the reason why they're here. It's obviously brought a lot of fear for many people, and I just think this is helping each other and just loving each other and just supporting each other, because we're all in this together ultimately. And having that coming from that place of unity and love. And there's so much hate on the planet, there's so much diversity where we're pitted against each other a little bit, and it is coming back to remembering that only love is real, and that is one of our spiritual lessons, I believe, for all of us. We've got a lot going on, and it's people are finding communities, they're finding each other, they're finding themselves and why they're here, which is a really positive thing.
Right. And I think that's what people are going to be learning, is that they have to recognize when something is separating them and creating a division. And I think that's what people are recognizing now. They're becoming more aware of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's very obvious. We do have a war, shall we say, a spiritual war of good and evil. The light and the darkness. And when you can see, you can't not see. Some people have had it shut down them a little bit so that we can be programmed and that kind of thing. There's a lot of subliminal stuff out there. But when you come into here, when we get out of here and we come into here, we can feel our way
into our hearts. Yeah.
And we can feel what feels right, what's the right thing to do around something, because I think we're in such a world that is all material things, money, wealth, and all the material aspects of things, and it can be very in our heads. instead of moving into our hearts. I think spirituality has always been moving us into our hearts, and I believe the ascension process is moving from our heads into our heart spaces. We obviously all have our egos. We can't get rid of that as part of our personalities, but to come from this place, and when we're in here, we can have that discernment. We can look and we can see what's right and we can see what's wrong. We can see the intent behind somebody as well, the intention. If you're coming from this space yourself, when you practice being there, you can feel the energy that comes off of other people.
Exactly.
And it's really important, because I have seen a lot of people, I'm like, oh, they're good. Well, hang on a sec, actually. No, they're people that maybe in the spiritual community, but I've never ever quite resonated with. It's very interesting. There's always been something. So yeah, it's for people to have that discernment, follow their own truth, but to really trust their heart and to be in that space of love and truth. I mean, I know you mentioned the Earth Angel group. I was really guided to get on there on the 11th of November, and to do a live on there. And one of the things that, because I loved working in a group, and I had some of my Soul Circle members with me, supporting me to hold that space for this work that we was doing. And one of the things that we check, which I check with most clients that I work with, is that their team that they're working with, because we all have a team. We've all heard that we've got a guardian angel. We actually all have a guardian dragon as well, which is pretty cool. And we have a huge team with us, that they're all 100% love, light and truth, because there is a lot that there's someone actually influencing them up there that's not from love, light and truth. So that was quite a powerful, it's free for anybody that would like to watch that. It's in the Earth Angel group that's on Facebook, but just to check in, because sometimes we can be led astray. It's the light and the dark. And when we can go into that space, into our heart and the light, well, I believe we've already won, for one thing, which is a positive thing. We have already won. The planet has already ascended, but we're playing it out. So we are watching it in real time, and we are living through it as well. And it's helping us as individuals get into our heart, get into that light space, and to connect. But we want to connect with the highest energies, not anything that might interfere. And this is something that happens with a lot of light workers. They want to keep us subdued. They don't want us to be out there sharing and doing all the things that we have so many innate gifts. But you think over in history, the witch burning craze, people that there's something wrong with them because they can hear spirit, they can hear angels, you're crazy, and drugs, the drugs that we're given to dull us down.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've never wanted us to be all that we can be, and we are so infinitely powerful. We know this when we do mass meditations, how the frequency of the planet shifts, the crime rate drops. We're so powerful, and the more of us that find that within ourselves and then unite, is helping to have this beautiful ripple effect over the planet. I mean, we're going in that direction anyway, but the more of us are like, yes, and join in and be part of this, the faster it's going to happen as well, and the more smoother it's going to happen, because there's still a lot of people, unfortunately, that are under the influence, shall we say, and they can't see the wood for the trees because they've had that programming, they've had the wall pulled over their eyes in a way. They can't see the truth. It's a bit like the Matrix.
Well, as we know, you specialize in working with angels who are presently on the earth plane in physical form. And you have a list of signs that determine if one is an earth angel. What does it mean, first of all, to be an earth angel?
Well, it's more of an umbrella term for all light workers that are on the planet. That's how I see it personally. An earth angel is a soul that has incarnated on planet Earth as a human being to help humanity with this great awakening, with this ascension process. So with the term earth angels, there's 4 key realms. The first are incarnated angels. Now, typically someone who has that aspect in them, they will love angels, angel wings, angel jewelry, angel tops. I cannot tell you how many things I've got that have got angel wings on it, or white feathers.
I've got angel sculptures and statues all over my house.
Yes, yeah. And anyone that's on me really connected, they're from the angelic realm, they will love angels. They'll have different collections of things. That's a real big pointer. And they can also, people can often look like an angel as well. So we can look like our namesakes. We also have elementals is one of the realms. Elementals, think fairies, pixies, unicorns come into this category as well. Anything elemental. We also have star people. We have a lot of star seeds on the planet. And this basically means that they've come from another dimension, another planet, to come onto the planet to help with this ascension process. Because what happens on this planet affects the universe. We are the last planet in our universe that is 3D, and we're rising up into 5D. So all eyes are technically on us, and we are technically in the center of the universe. So we have some people can see the spaceships. We have, I would say, thousands upon thousands surrounding our planet watching. But we have free will while we're here, which is why, because some people are like, why are the galactics just not stepping in and stopping this? But they won't, because we have free will. Now, they are not going to let this planet be destroyed. They are not going to allow mass destruction. That will not happen. I truly believe that. But they are letting us play it out ourselves, because we have so much soul growth for doing that. So for everyone here, for the light workers here on the planet, we're having so much soul growth as well being here. So we have so many star seeds. And that is a huge majority, I would say, as well, of earth angels and light workers on the planet. And we then have the wise ones, and these are spiritual beings that have been here at times of Lemuria, Atlantis, ancient Egypt. Many have been called out of retirement to come back to the earth plane to help with this ascension process. Now, this can be heavy. There can be a lot that are very scared to open up their gifts because they remember being burnt in the witch burning craze, or being killed for having gifts and being a healer and that kind of thing. So we have all sorts. As I would say, those are the four key realms, but they're like the primary colors. We have our primary colors. We can make the whole spectrum of the rainbow. So there is no one size fit all. I go by the characteristics. You feel different. You know that you are different. You may feel alienated. This may not feel like your home. You just know you just don't quite fit in on some level. Strong sense of purpose. Even if you don't know what that is, you just know you're here for a reason. You feel passionate about the oceans. You feel passionate about saving children. You feel passionate about animals, or whatever. You've got a purpose for being here, but many don't know what that is. And highly sensitive, especially star people, can be incredibly sensitive. Because of this, we can have addictions, can be a real problem, because we need to numb down. We need to dull down our sensitivity, numb out the pain. We can also be born, this is a huge thing with many light workers and earth angels. They're like the black sheep of the family. They're born into a family that doesn't get them. They feel like the odd one out, and troubling relationships can be a huge problem, because especially the incarnated angels, you think if you was an angel, you can help someone. Okay, we're in a 3D body. One, we can't fly. We're in this dense body. You can't help. They can attract relationships of people to help. And I can remember when I was younger thinking, yes, I've got a new project, someone that I can help, and then give them my energy before I understood all this energy work. You will know, I wouldn't imagine there'll be anybody watching this that is not an earth angel. And hopefully it's going to help you think, that does sound like me. And I do have a free report, which is quite, it covers all the realms, different hybrid realms, just to help people solidify, yes, I'm from that angelic realm that really resonates, and I'm a wise one, and the stars, so they can help understand themselves better. Because I think when you know this information, it just helps you make sense of yourself a little bit better. It's a bit like knowing your star sign. Think, oh my gosh, yes, I'm an Aries, and that's one aspect of who I am. But it helps me understand myself, knowing the traits around that. So it helps people understand themselves better, and also find a community of people that feel the same.
No, that report, is that on the Earth Angel Sanctuary or the new?
Yes, the Earth Angel, it's called an Earth Angels free report. It's on inspiritcoaching.co.uk website. It's free. Just give me your name and email, and then that gets sent out to you. And then there's a link on there to the Earth Angel group. There's a link straight to the Soul Circle on there if people want to find out a little bit more about that. Although it's an invitation only. I speak to everyone before they actually come into that base. But yes, there's so much that's on the group that's for free as well. The past lives that I've done, where we do some, we done a call, a live on the Friday the 13th, because like, isn't it interesting? Friday the 13th is actually a really sacred day, and it's unlucky for some. We have this fear, and it's Friday the 13th, something bad's going to happen. I'm like, isn't this interesting? Like, we've been programmed. How many other things have we been programmed around? So
Exactly.
I done a live to help clear the programs of fear and hate, because we are programmed to hate people, and to hate things, and to be angry about things, and just to fear things in general. So it's an amazing replay, amazing meditation that I take everybody into as well, to expand their energies and get them really in their heart space. And everybody, whenever I do any live call, I have a lot that I've done in the Soul Circle, which is a paid membership thing, but on the Earth Angel group, everyone adds their energy to that. So when we do the clearing, it's not just me, it's the other Soul Circle members that join us, and it's other people to help that energy. And for anyone that listens to it at any point in the future, I always set that intention so people can just sit there, listen, just breathe along. I love to empower people, but sometimes people just need to have it shifted for them as well, to make it easy. We don't want no resistance with stuff, just to help people get in their power, because we are so powerful, all of us.
Right.
I really want people to feel that and know that within themselves, because sometimes we forget, including myself. I mean, I hold my hand up here. I've been a spiritual teacher for a long time, but I am forever a student, and I'm well aware of that. And I have to be vulnerable and to let people know that, because we are not here to be perfect. None of us have got it all together. I really don't believe that any of us have 100% of the time. We need each other ultimately, and to support each other.
Yeah, because I mean, we're in the physical world, we're experiencing a human experience. So you are going to fall into those aspects of being human. I mean, that's the reason why we're here, to understand those complexities and how to navigate through it and to still connect with our spirit. So it's a challenge.
Yes, it can be very challenging sometimes, and I think we all lose our way at some point, and that is why it's so nice to know that we are never alone. And I was saying to a friend actually just this weekend about it's a poem, I think it's called Footprints in the Sand, and it's about how as you go through life you have two sets of footprints. And a person said, but when it's my most awful parts of my life, there's only one set of footprints. How, God, how could you leave me when I needed you most? And that's when God replies, well, that's when I carried you. And it's just like, oh, God, it really, because we are never alone. We have, whether you're religious or not everyone believes in God. Because of the religious, it can bring up some stuff. And I'm not religious at all, but I believe all religions are rivers that run to the sea. God, source, the universe, that higher power that is omnipresent, always there, is with all of us, as well as legions of angels. We can all ask for them to help us at any time. That's what they're there for. They will not interfere unless it's a life or death matter and we're not meant to be going anywhere. We need to ask for help and ask for that support, but we are never alone. And I think that's a big thing that so many spiritual people, earth angels, can feel. It's like, no one gets me. I'm on my own. I'm alone. When the truth is that we're not. And it's there's so much respect for us being here in a human body as well, and what we have to go through and what we've been through in our lives. But this is for, yes, we're here for this bigger picture, for this planet, for the ascension and the shift in vibration on this planet, which is beautiful. But we're also here for our own soul growth. So we haven't just come in to go, right, I'm here just to help the planet. I'm going to have no issues. It doesn't work like that. So coming into, we've got this ego to wrestle with, and obviously peers growing up, and the program and the subliminal messaging as we're growing up and things like that. So we also have a fantastic opportunity for that soul growth. And I know from personal experience, it's not always easy, but we can come through it. We're never on our own. And there are so many magnificent souls. I love helping people. I always have my whole life. The healings blow me away that I've done with people. And I love getting people in a group to help them and empower them so we can help more people. But I need it myself sometimes just as much.
Right.
And it's being open to have that and not thinking, well, I've got it all together, because none of us have. So I think it's just having that, being able to come from that place of knowing that we are in this together, all of us, and we want to love one another and help one another and empower each other and be there for each other, because there's a lot of stake here on this planet. It is intense, it is challenging, but we are shifting it 100%. We've already won on a bigger level, and the darker aspects, they know this. They don't like it, and they ain't going to go out quietly, and that's okay. As long as we know, we're aware of that ourselves, we can get into here. We can seek support of others when things get a little bit too tough for us individually, because we will come through it, and it will be so worth it. Well.
And one of the things that you would just mentioned, people can ask for help. We've been programmed, we're not allowed to do that through different religions, but that's not the case. So can you explain what that means, that we can ask for help, and what types of help? Because I'm sure people are probably questioning, okay, what are the levels? Can you ask for a parking spot? Can you ask for a bill to be paid? I mean, people think that these things might be trivial, but anything that you need in your life is important.
Absolutely. And everything is energy. Everything is energy on this planet. So sometimes people will turn to God, to praying, to that higher power in their darkest hour, because they literally have no choice. They have to go there. It's like, please, God. But we can ask anytime. I mean, prayer is a beautiful thing to do anyway. But we can ask the angels to help us with anything from getting a parking space to anything that we want in our lives. They are listening, and they are there. They're not just going to go, right, okay, here's the lottery win that you've been asking for. It doesn't work quite like that. But to help us with our soul growth. So we can ask for anything, but we do need to ask, and we do need to ask from our heart space. There is a really, I can't think of the quote. It's a part in the Bible. It's about whatever ye ask for, you shall be given. And there's a really good Greg Braden video that talks about this and what it actually said, because I do believe the Bible, maybe other religious texts, they have been changed over the years, because we have had a darker force controlling things on this planet for a very, very long time. So a lot of things have been hidden from us. And things have been changed and manipulated. And what the actual quote was, which I can't actually remember the specifics of it, was whatever you ask in your heart space, you will be given. So it's asking with an open heart and being willing to receive the answer in however that may come. There's a really, I'm not sure, it's a little story that I heard, but there was this guy, and he's in a ship or a boat, and he's sinking. He's, and
I think I know this.
Past, because God is going to save me, and ship comes past, no, God's going to save me. So he's sinking, a helicopter comes past, it's like, no, God's going to save me. And anyway, he drowns. This is a very short version, it's not exactly how it is, but he drowns, he dies, he goes to heaven. He's like, where was you? And he's like, well, I sent a ship and a helicopter.
Yeah.
It comes through other people. So many people have been blessed to see angels, to hear angels, but that's not many people really in the grand scheme of things. It's we get that sense, little white feathers, calling cards to let us know around number sequences. You ask, you start seeing little things. You might see a car registration, or catch the music of the song, or hear something on television, and there's everywhere. We communicate with in so many different ways. So it's not keeping it very blinkered in how we're allowing ourselves to receive. So we can ask for anything, but ask from here, from your heart space, and then being open to that answer, however that may come through.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our interview with Sarah Rebecca Vine as we take a look at the New Earth paradigm and sacred geometry. Until next time, keep your vibrations high and your awareness open, and we'll see you soon on RevUP and Awaken.